Okay, then we're going to start doing a series on projects for beginners. Alright then, as I said, I'm going to start doing a series on beginners projects. I've noticed that there's a lot of guys on the forums on Facebook and stuff, and they're just starting and they want to know, like, what can I do for this, what can I do, what's a good one to learn on, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do a series on what are nice easy projects for beginners to do. It will teach you some of the skills you need, and it will give you something at the end of it. That's it's one of the things that beginners do, is they get disheartened because there isn't something tangible at the end of it. Right, okay, this week's one, what I'm going to do is basically it's a 2-for-1. You can get 2 projects out of the same kind of base, right? This one is, I'm going to start off with this week with a kitchen roll holder. It's one of the easiest projects you can do, but you can make it easier on yourself and also get a better product in the end just by doing a couple of tricks, right? Now, what an awful lot of people do when they're doing these is that they start off on the base, the round bit at the bottom. Don't start off with the long bit, right? I have a piece of tiger in here. It's about 11 inches long. I think it was the leg of a table that my mate didn't use. Right, so first I'm going to round it off. If you're doing something that you've seen all the time, like, as I said, what I'm doing here, kitchen roll holder, right? Think about the kitchen roll holders that you've seen in shops and stuff, and think about, what about it do you not like? Like, one of my things that I don't like about the kitchen roll holders you can buy is that the piece that sticks up is too thin. It looks flimsy, right? So anytime I'm doing them, I do a thick part in the middle, and it also comes in handy for the second bit of this 2-for-1. And as I said, these are dead easy, right? They're beginners projects, okay? Right, I have it round, right? Just gonna level it off, right? Now, you don't have to use the tools that I'm using, right? These are my preferred tools for doing stuff, right? You can do this with a skew, no problem, right? Or you can use what I'm using, which is a continental spindle gouge. You can use just about anything. You can actually do this with a roughing gouge if you want it. Right, now on the top I need a ball. Put the detail gouge in there. Right, it's some sort of a ball on top of it. And it's a rough ball shape will do. It does not have to be a perfect sphere. Right? So it's a beginner project. Right? Now you have a thick base here, right? You have a sphere on top, right? Just bring it down a little to meet the sphere. Right? Get yourself a nice clean cut. Just taper it down, right? You can make up here as deep as you want. You're the turner, you choose. Right? Now on this end, this is the end that's going to go into the base. So what you need to do is you need to cut a spigot on the end of it, right? Size of the spigot is completely and utterly up to you. It doesn't have to be all that deep, it's only a gluing surface. Now, what you do need to do on this end, right, and here's where one of the tips comes in, right, for making this easier on yourself, is you want to slant this edge here. You want to very slightly slant it from the outside in, because it will give you a really clean line on the bottom. Basically make it slightly concave, because that will give you a really clean join line on the bottom, right? Now, as I said, I like to leave these thick because I think they look better. So that is basically that done, except for the top there, which I'll stick this in a chuck to do, right? And I'll get the finished shape and do it then, right? So I'll stick this in a chuck and I'll be right back. Right then, we have it in a chuck. Then we just get a nice clean, very clean cut on it. You can make the body of this as fancy as you want. Or as thick or as thin as you want. As I said, you're the turner, you decide. Just get rid of that tailstock out of the way. Now, especially old turners know this, newer ones mightn't. There is an awful lot of distance between there and there, right? So you have to be careful. Try not to come straight in it. Go down, putting the force down along the straight, and it'll stay better for you. But still be very careful. Do not try and take too big of a bite. All you want to do is get rid of that piece that the tailstock was holding. Right, now you have your rough shape. Now, sand and finish it. So I'll do that and I'll be back in a sec. Right then, just buffing the wax off. As I said, it's a simple turning to do. Ideal for beginners. Right. Yeah, there's that part of it done. I'll take it off and we get on to the next piece. Okay. Now, when I get the next piece going, I'll tell you why it's important to do this piece first. Right then, I have another piece of tiger wood up on the lathe. It's held on a worm screw. It's between centres at the moment till I get it rounded off. Right, so we do that very quickly. Right, we're rounded off. Now all I want to do is flatten off the bottom. The worm screw just makes this easy. Now, what I want to do is make this very slightly concave. So there we have, it's round, it's flattened up, and it's very slightly concave, and I've cut my hand. Then what I want to do is put a mortise in it that will fit on my 2-inch jaws. Right, now I'm going to sand and finish the bottom of this, and I'll be back in a sec. Right then, just buffing the wax off. As I said, it's a very simple base on it. It's just slightly concave so it sits on the edge, and there's a mortise in it. Right, so we take it off. And flip it over. So I'll flip it over and be back in a sec. Right then, we're flipped over, and what I'm about to say may sound kind of counterintuitive, but it's the way to do it. You need to put a finish on this before you drill the hole. Right, so you need to get your shape. Right, and what I'm going for is a concave here. This is the shape I like to do this. Now, when you get to here, there's a lot of things you can do. Right? I'm just going to go concave with like a stripe in the middle. That's the way I like to do them. But that's flat. It's no, I'll take the stripe out actually. So doing simple, aren't we? Right, so I'm just going to go for a simple concave here. Right, very simple concave, and I'm going to clean off here, and that is all I'm going to do with this until I put a finish on it. As I said, you can get complicated in there. Like normally I would leave it like a raised stripe in the middle, but because we're doing a beginner's project, I will keep it nice and simple. I'm just cleaning off this so that I can get a good finish on it. Now all I'm going to do is sand and finish that. As I said, it's before I put the hole in it. Right, so I'll do that and be right back. Right then, just popping the wax off. Now, as I said, it's important to put a finish on this before you drill the hole, and the reason is that you do not want finish on the gluing surface that's inside that hole. It's really that simple, and putting the finish on it first really helps that to happen. Alright, so there we go. There's the base finish. Now, as I said, this is just the way I like to do them. Right, as I said, normally I would put like a raised stripe in the middle there. Because I'm trying to keep this video as simple as possible, I didn't. Right, now I'm going to drill that, and what I want to do is I want to drill a hole that is as close to that but smaller, right? Because I want to creep up on this. Right, should be plenty deep enough. Now I have a hole drilled there, but I know it's too small because what I want to do is creep up on it. I'll just move this macro camera because it's going to be in my way. Grab a nice sharp parting tool. Check it's on center. It's not, it's slightly low. Be cutting low. When you're doing this kind of thing, being on center is important. And now what I'm going to do is nibble away at that edge. Now, if you're using a parting tool to do this, as you go in, you have to swing your parting tool out a little. Now, I know that's going to be too small still, but I'm just going to check it just to see. It is very slightly too small still. So yet again, take a little bit off, swing the tool out. Because if I don't swing the tool out, what's going to happen is that edge there is going to start hitting the edge of that, and it's going to rise on me. And there we go. Right. Just a little tap and that'll go in. And let's use the things snapping at the sawdust. Right. I am very slightly, well, it's bent, okay. Over to the bandsaw, take a little bit off, and yeah, no, I'm not deep enough. Right, so I just need to make that a little bit deeper. Don't need a lot. There we go, that's better. Right, now that's in. Right, I'll take this off and give you a better look at it and tell you about next week's video. Right then, there we have a nice simple little kitchen roll holder. As I said, I do them chunky for a couple of reasons. One, I like chunky, and I want to show off the wood. Alright, now as I said, this is like a base for next week's video. Right, next week's video is going to be pretty short because there isn't much to do with it. Right, what I'm going to do is I'll make another one of these. It's slightly taller, right, and I'll do all that before I start filming, just to keep the video down. As I said, it's a simple beginner's project. You end up with something at the end of it which is good. So if you enjoyed that one, I got anything out of it, if you wouldn't mind clicking like on the video, and I'll see you in the next one.